Back with you with another video. See if you can see me, Rico the Opinionist. That's Opinionist, Opionist. That's the name of my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook page, Rico the Opinionist. And I'm just here just to share a couple of thoughts on the University of Missouri protest that's going on. Let me try to adjust this thing, 'cause dang. All right. Okay, this is what I have to say. I remember a few years back, well, more than a few years back, in the late '90s, early 2000s, so I guess private Ivy League college in Memphis called Rhodes College, and they had an issue with spraying "Go Home Nigga" and other racial slurs on the dormitory and cars of the probably 30 black students at that college. I think it had about an enrollment of maybe 1,500, but it had about 30 black students. Those students waged a protest, and the college wasn't far from my home there in Memphis. And so I went on the campus when they were having that little rally saying "No to racism, we belong here," and all that kind of mess. And so I was able to talk to a couple of them, I guess during or right after the rally, and I told them this: you don't have to worry about having racial slurs written on your dormitories and your automobiles on the campus of a historically black college or university. I don't know what's wrong with today's black students or black kids. Yes, I do. Their parents haven't taught them. Or if the parents did teach them, they obviously didn't believe their parents. And it's just amazing that we're still pulling these old civil rights movement moves or using their old civil rights tactics with sitting at the lunch counter trying to force someone to accept my money and actually believe that they're going to feed you food that they hadn't spat in or pissed in or farted in or anything. I mean, that was insane. So instead of just going and developing your own beautiful restaurant with all of these black folks that live here in this country, they couldn't do that, or they didn't think about that. MLK, you didn't think about that? Well, you did at the end, but I think it was too late. Because now we have, students or the athletes saying we're not going to play until you start treating us right, Mr. White School. When we have a choice to go to 118 other schools where the students and faculty look like us. And there was something really wonderful said on Facebook. I've been sharing that post. It says, go where you're celebrated instead of being tolerated. I want black kids to understand that in 2015. Go to where you are celebrated instead of being tolerated. There's no need for that in 2015. We have 40 million black folks. You mean you can't send at least 5 million of your children to these 118 or 105 historically black colleges and universities? So I applaud the athletes, the football team, because the same thing was done at Grambling. The football players got tired of something or got tired of conditions and they stood up. It lets you know black student athletes are very powerful. They bring a lot of money into these schools. So imagine if these athletes went to historically black colleges. That's how schools get on NBC, CBS, ABC, TBS Sports. I guess the CBS Sports during the week as well as on the weekend. You have powerhouse students there bringing in all this money. Imagine if they would go to their own schools and really represent that way. But I guess they're still believing in that dream of multiculturalism. I'm not preaching separatism. Y'all know what I'm preaching? Self-love, self-determination. Because there's nothing wrong with nationalism. Guess who's been practicing nationalism in this country? Jews, white people, Asians, Hispanics. They all practice nationalism. But as soon as you say black nationalism, alarms begin to ring and folks start panicking and blacks start tripping. Black nationalism, we're all here together. Well, that's interesting. I'm sure the kids at University of Missouri believe that they were all there together. But it's something about the University of Missouri. They don't want any Negroes there unless you can run a football or generate some money with your athleticism. So I just want to say this really quickly. People my age in their 40s, start teaching your young 18, 16, 15, 20-year-old children. Go to where you are celebrated and not where you're tolerated. I just want to share that. I applaud the young brothers for standing up and for what they believe is right. However, almost there. Almost there now. If you could just take this thing up another notch and we get all the young people, all right, black youth involved in really trying to push this nationalist agenda. Because that's what we're missing. That's why we're suffering in this country, because we don't believe in racial cohesion or nationalism the way other groups do. I'm not saying anything that's out of order or original. We've had so many people here sent here by, if y'all believe in God or Most High, and you believe that the Creator sends messengers. We've had a lot of messengers sent here. We call them Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Sojourner Truth, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, even King, Dr. King, from the last 2 years of his life when he started preaching that integrationist madness. And still we won't get it. So when I have to direct all of you to the movie The Color Purple, and to the scene when the lady in the choir tells or the church, it says, hey, she tells the preacher, play God is trying to tell you something. Come on, God is trying to tell you something. Y'all know what that means when God is trying to tell you something? If you don't, go back and check that song out in that movie. Because black folks, it's not sending any more messengers. We just had the Million Man March to an anniversary. 800,000 black folks there. And our kids are still trying to gain acceptance from the grandchildren of the original oppressor of the enslaved Africans upon being brought here to America. That is sick. So I'll end by saying, black folks, God is trying to tell you something. Rico the Opinionist, I'm on Facebook, Rico the Opinionist, and YouTube channel, Rico the Opinionist, Opinionist. Check me out. I have more videos to come. Got a lot of stuff going on. Y'all be careful. Peace.